Today we are going to learn about conflict management. First we are going to see the meaning of the term conflict, what are the various strategies to manage conflict and what are the different types of conflict. Now when we are talking about conflict, let us try to understand the synonymous word generally used for the word conflict. Now all of we are aware of the term conflict. It is natural and inevitable in our life. One cannot escape from any kind of conflict. Conflict means disagreement. It also means dispute, quarrel. These are the some terms we generally use for defining the word conflict. Now, when we are saying conflict, obviously there has certain two persons in whom the conflict will take place. Now, when two persons come together, there are differences of opinion, there are differences of views, values, interest, desires, wants make a person to think in a different manner. So it may happen that two person may not think on one line and then it may give rise to a situation of conflict. Say for example, when I am saying it is natural and inevitable, that means it is happening in our day-to-day life. Day-to-day life means there are many situations where you can have, there are many different situations where you will have interest clashes, where you will have differences of opinion, where you will have differences of values, principles, which will give rise to conflict. Conflict simply means incompatibility of the values, desires, wants, principles, attitudes and opinions. When the opinion or interest of one person blocks the opinion or interest of other person, there can be chances of conflict. When action or interest of one person block the interest or action of another person, there can be situation of conflict. In general, conflict is a state of opposition, disagreement, disharmony or incompatibility between two or more individuals or group of people. Let us try to understand what conflict is. In the year 1998, Thomson defined conflict as it is a perception of differences of interest among people. Kilman and Thomas in the year 1978 defined conflict as it is a condition of objective incompatibility between values and goals. So, while defining conflict, Kilman and Thomas are focusing on it is an incompatibility between values and goals. Like there can be chances that two people might be having different values, two people might be having different goals. So in this kind of situation, if their values, if their goals are not matching, then it may give rise to the situation of conflict. Now let us try to understand the characteristics of conflict. First and foremost thing we can say about conflict is that it is natural and inevitable. Now when I am saying it is natural and inevitable means conflict is bound to be there in a society. When two people are staying together, there are chances that they are bound to have some kind of differences of opinion, values. So that is why it is a natural phenomena and it is inevitable. Inevitable means one cannot avoid conflict situation because there are some strategies to overcome those, how to resolve the conflict, but one cannot prevent conflict. It is bound to happen, that is why it is inevitable. So we can say conflict is natural and inevitable. Second characteristics, we can say that conflict always between two or more people or a group. Unless and until there are two or more people or a group, there cannot be a chances of conflict. So conflict always happen within a group or more than two people. When conflict situation arises, there has to need to take some kind of action. If the action is not taken, conflict will be latent. That means we need to come out of that conflict situation. A person cannot stay for a longer time in conflict situation. If the person remains for a longer time in conflict situation, it may give some other psychological problems like stress, anxiety, depression. So, it is a natural tendency of a person to come out of that particular conflict situation. So, we can say that one has to take some kind of action to come out of that particular conflict situation. Unless and until the action is taken place, conflict cannot be resolved. So we can say that conflict, some action need to be taken to come out of the conflict, otherwise conflict will remain latent or stagnant. Conflict can have positive or negative consequences. When the conflict is handled skillfully, it gives positive outcome like motivation, competition, ambition. These are some of the positive outcomes of the conflict. It gives rise to It helps in motivation, it helps in healthy competition, it also helps in increasing productivity of the person. So that is a positive consequence of a conflict. Conflict also has some negative consequences if it is not handled skillfully. Say for example, if the conflict situation is not handled skillfully, there might be chances of unrest in the society. For example, strike, road rage, domestic violence are some of the examples of negative or ineffective handling of the conflict. So, if the conflict is not handled carefully, skillfully, it may give rise to other problems. Now, let us try to understand the levels and types of conflict. When we are talking about levels of conflict, conflict can be at different level. For example, conflict can be at individual level, group level and organizational level. So, when we are talking about conflict can be at three levels, that is individual, group level and organizational level, then it has different types. Say for example, when we are talking about organizational conflict, it has two types like inter and intra. When I am saying inter-organizational, it is between two organizations. When I am saying intra-organizational, it is within the organization. Same way, conflict can be intergroup conflict and intragroup conflict. When I am saying intergroup conflict, it is a conflict between two groups. When I use the term intragroup conflict, it is a conflict within a group. The third type is individual, and the third level is individual level. Again, at individual level, there are two types of conflict, inter-conflict and intra-conflict. Inter-conflict is between the group, between the person, and intra means within a person. So, we can have two types of conflict at personal or individual level, that is interpersonal and interpersonal. Now, let us elaborate on each type. First, we will talk about inter-organizational conflict. As I told you, when I use the term inter-organizational, it means between two or more organizations. For example, there are two schools in the same premises. So, when the conflict is between two schools of the same premises, we can say it is inter-organizational because it is between two schools, it is between two organizational. Examples of such kind of inter-organizational conflict can be conflict between two schools, conflict between different offices in the society. That can be example of inter-organizational conflict. It is always between. The second type is intra-organizational. When I use the term intra-organizational, intra means within. So, it means the conflict within the organization. Now, when I use the term conflict within the organization means the people who are a part of that particular organization, the conflict among those people are known as intra-organizational. For example, let us take school as an organization. So, in that particular school, there are teaching staff and non-teaching staff. So, if there is a conflict between teaching and non-teaching staff, it will be considered as intra-organizational conflict. Now, let us come to the second level, that is group level conflict. Again, this group level conflict can be of two types, intergroup and intragroup. When I say intergroup, it is between two or more groups. When I use the term intragroup, it means within a group. Let us see one example of intergroup conflict. Say for example, in a society there are different groups. Say for example, there are group of male members, there are group of female members, there are group of teachers, there are group of parents. So, when there is a kind of conflict among these different groups, it will be known as intergroup conflict. When we relate this example with the school level, we can say in school you can have two groups like teaching staff and non-teaching staff. So, when there is a conflict between teaching staff and non-teaching staff, there is a conflict between two groups. So, it will be known as intergroup conflict. The second type of group conflict is intra-group. Now, intra-group means within a group. So, when I say within a group conflict means group is made up of different members. So, among those members there can be clashes of opinion, there can be clashes of values, interest, and they may not be unanimously agreeing on any particular point of or issue. then this type of conflict is known as intra-group conflict. There is a conflict within a group among the members of the group. Let us see one more example of intra-group conflict. When members of the group do not agree on some issue, then that time there can be conflict of intra-group type of conflict. The members may not agree on any kind of problem or issue, then it will be considered as intra-group conflict. Now let us move to the third level of conflict, that is personal or individual conflict. Again, this personal or individual conflict can be divided into two types, interpersonal and intrapersonal. When I use the term interpersonal, it is between two persons. When man is a social animal, he lives in the society, he comes in contact with different people in the society. So in day-to-day socialization, it may happen that two persons may not agree, there might be differences of opinion between these two persons. So that time it will be known as interpersonal conflict, because it is a conflict between two or more persons. Next type of individual conflict is intrapersonal, or we can also label it as intra-individual. When I use the term intrapersonal, that means within a person. Now when the conflict is intrapersonal, it will involve both physical and psychological problem for a person. Intrapersonal means conflict within a person. Now when I say conflict within a person, means there can be differences of values, opinions, interest among the person himself. The person sometimes cannot make his mind to decide on a particular issue. Sometimes he feels that whether I should go here or whether I should go there, whether I should choose this one or whether I should choose the another option. So that time the conflict created is known as intrapersonal conflict. It is a conflict within a person, wherein the person cannot make a decision of what to do. So that time the conflict situation arises in his mind. That conflict is known as intrapersonal conflict. Intrapersonal conflict is very bad for a person. There should not be many kind of situation wherein person is involved in intrapersonal, because your intrapersonal conflict may give rise to other psychological problems like stress, depression, anxiety, which will have a negative impact on the personality of the person. So it is very bad for a person to have intrapersonal conflict. Now let us try to understand what are the various sources of conflict. The first source of conflict is individual and cultural differences. There are individual differences, there are cultural differences in the society which will give rise to conflict. Now when I use the term there are individual differences, means no two persons are alike, their thinking is different, their opinion is different, their values, attitude, interest are different. So it may happen that when the person come in contact with other person, there might be chances of clashes within for the opinion, clashes between interest, clashes between values and attitude of the person, which will give rise to conflict. So individual difference can be considered as one of the source of conflict. Because of individual difference, there are chances of having conflict in the society. The another source of conflict is scarcity of resources. Many a time, because of scarcity of resources, every person doesn't get the resource required for his day-to-day living. Because of scarcity of resources, there can be chances of clashes between the individuals. Say for example, in a school where there is availability of only one LCD projector, so it may happen that two teachers might be requiring that LCD projector at a time. So that situation itself may give rise to a conflict. Both of the teacher may start disputing who will take it first or who requires it most. So that situation itself may give rise to conflict. Or we can see one more example. There is only one computer lab in a school and every batch or every standard student want to use that computer lab. So which batch will be using that computer lab first? On that background also there can be conflict. So because of scarcity of resources, many times conflict happen in the society. Another source of conflict is differences in information. Many times the information provided by one person to another person may be incomplete, may be misinterpreted, which give rise to conflict. So many times differences of information, misguiding of information, misleading information may give rise to conflict. The another reason or another source of conflict is differences in values, attitude, beliefs, which we already discussed earlier. There are differences of opinion, values, beliefs, attitude, which may give rise to conflict in the society. Many a times person doesn't know about what his role is in the society. He has to play too many roles in a society. So those unclear roles also be considered as one of the source of conflict. If the person is not very much clear about his or her role, it may give chance to conflict. So it is very much important to have role clarity. More the role clarity, less are the chances of conflict. More the person confused about his or her role, more are there the chances of conflict. Say for example, if there is a teacher in a school and teacher's job is to teach in the classroom, but many a times teacher also has to do some kind of official work like typing the letter, maintaining the records of the student. Also sometimes if the clerk is not available, teacher also has to work for the salary, taking out the salary of the teachers. So that time teacher gets confused and she thinks that am I a right person for doing this particular job? So there is a confusion about whether she is a teacher, whether she is in the role of a teacher or not, whether she is in the role of a clerk. So that time this kind of situation may give rise to conflict. So the person need to be very clear about his or her role. More the clarity in role, less are the situations of conflict. We can see one more example of role conflict. Say for example, lady has to perform various role. She is a teacher in the school, she is a mother at home, she is a wife at home. So after coming home, naturally she cannot behave like a teacher. Her role in the school is different, her role in the family is different, her role as a mother is different, her role as a wife is different. So while performing this role, she should understand what are the requirement needs of that respective roles, so that she will not mix the things together. More the clarity about role, less will be the conflict. The another source of conflict is lack of cooperation and trust. When we are working together, we do need to work in cooperation. If there is no cooperation among members, it will give rise to conflict. More the cooperation, less will be the conflict. More the non-cooperation, more will be the conflict. So cooperation is very much required when group of people work together, when two members are working together. More the cooperation, less will be the chances of conflict. Another point is trust. There should be atmosphere, trustworthy environment in the institute. More the people are trusting each other, less will be the conflict. So we can say lack of cooperation and trust can be considered as also one of the important source of conflict. More the trust, less will be the conflict. More the cooperation, less will be the conflict, and vice versa. Lack of job description is also one of the source of conflict. If the person himself or herself doesn't know what he is expected to do, what are his job requirements, then the person may get confused and it may create intra-personal conflict. So when the person is doing any kind of job, and if he or she is very much clear about his or her job description, less will be chances of conflict. So lack of job description many times may give rise to many kinds of conflict. Competitions is also one of the source of conflict. Just in the rat race, many times people hurt others' feelings, they hurt others' values, they hurt others' principles. So in this process, when the two persons are getting hurt, it may give rise to conflict. So because of competitions, what is happening? People are hurting others' feelings, they are hurting others' emotions, which may ultimately give rise to conflict. Same way, over ambitions also sometimes give rise to conflict, because your over ambition leads you towards competition. More the competition, more will be the chances of conflict. crab syndrome, or sometimes we say pulling others legs. Because of to be in a competition, many times we pull each other's leg because one wants to go ahead. So in that process, what is happening, other person may get hurt. So crab syndrome is also one of the source of conflict in the society. Everyone wants to go ahead, and in the process of going ahead, he is hurting others feelings, he is taking undue advantage of other person, and that may give rise to conflict in the society. Many times when we are in the society, we keep lot of expectations from others. So in the process of keeping lot of expectation, it may create conflict in the society. For example, if the bosses expect too much from the subordinate, subordinate may feel that I am overburdened with the work. So that feeling itself will create conflict in him or her. So many times your expectations from you may give rise to conflict, because if you have the expectation from other person, it is required that the other person should follow those expectations. So it may happen that either the person may be successful in fulfilling all your expectations, or the person may lag behind in fulfilling your expectation. So the person who is not fulfilling the expectation may be in the situation of conflict, because he or she may feel that I am not fulfilling all the expectation of my father, of my boss, and he may or she may keep on thinking on that particular issue, which may create conflict within a person. Role pressure is also one of the source of conflict. Many times the person has to perform various roles, so he cannot give justice to each role. So in the process of performing all the roles, it creates a lot of pressure on the minds of the person, and that pressure may sometimes give rise to intrapersonal conflict, which may further leads to other psychological problems like stress, anxiety, distress within a person. So lot of role pressure also creates a conflict within a person. Status, power and authority can be also one of the source of conflict. Generally in a society, there are different people from different status. There is a hierarchy in the status, there is a hierarchy in the power. So when there is a hierarchy, superior feels that he or she is a great person, and the inferior feels that I am lower than that particular person. So that may create a low self-esteem among the subordinate, who feels that no, I am not in that particular authority, so I cannot do this particular work. So your status, authority and power sometimes create a problem of conflict, because the person who is with the power may sometimes exploit the subordinate, and the subordinate may be under pressure, may be under distress, which will ultimately leads to conflict. As there are individual differences, there are some persons in the society who are aggressive in nature. So when one comes in contact with the aggressive person, there can be lot of chances of creating conflict between the person, because the aggressive person generally don't want to listen to others. The aggressive person generally are not tolerant. So they are not tolerant, they are very much aggressive, and because of their aggression they may create problem for the other individual, which may lead to conflict between two person or between a group because of the aggressive nature of the person. Another source of conflict is low self-esteem. Many a times person doesn't have confidence in him or herself. So what happens, because of low self-esteem, he doesn't get pride in doing his work, he doesn't get confidence in doing his work, and because of low confidence, because of low self-esteem, the person may be always under pressure, person may be always shy, the person may be always under fear, which may lead to conflict within a person. So in this way there are various sources we have discussed for which give rise to conflict. So just now we discussed about the various sources of conflict. Now these sources give rise to conflict. So what effect it has on the organization? It has a negative effect on the organization. Negative effect in the sense that if the members of the organizations are always in the conflict situation, it will create a problem of absenteeism, because they are under conflict situation, they don't feel like coming to the office, they don't feel like coming to the organization. So there can be problem of absenteeism. So we can say the negative impact of conflict on organization is that there can be problem of absenteeism. Another impact of conflict is stress, because if the person stays for a long time in conflict situation, the next step which will arise is stress. If the person is continuously under conflict, it may lead to stress, and when the person is under stress, it may also hamper his or her productivity, because of stress the person may not concentrate on his or her job, and which will have a negative impact on the productivity. So we can say because of conflict there can be problem of absenteeism, there can be problem of stress, there can be problem of low productivity or non-productivity. If these things happen in the organization, there will be problem of staff turnover. The staff will keep on changing, because if you are not facing the conflict situation, it may happen that the organization may remove the persons constantly under conflict situations, or who are constantly creating conflict situation in the organization. So there can be problem of staff turnover because of the negative impact of conflict.